Good day. This is HJT Views on current affairs. The flavor of the season appears to be Air India and to some extent JRD Tata. It might do good to look back on Air India and JRDT's contribution towards it and how he was actually handled by the political class of India. He built up an airline, made it one of the finest top five in the world, but the then Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru, thought it fit to nationalize the airline without so much as a courtesy call. Not only did he nationalize, but requested JRDT to continue to be the chairman and to look after the airline. This was something the man did. You can understand the character of the person that for not even a rupee of salary, he continued to look after the airline as chairman. Another PM of India, Morarji Desai, in the 1970s, late 1970s, was to heap further humiliation by just removing him as the chairman without even the decency of a talk or telling him what the reason was. Nothing. Two prime ministers in high positions removing the chairman of the largest business conglomerate in India. It just shows how the balance of power resides within India. That both those PMs had their karma visiting them is too well known. Jawaharlal Nehru, towards the last few months before his death, saw his entire economic philosophy collapsing all around him. His belief of large public sector, government, government sector, all in ruins, and his external affairs, where he felt that with China, it could be Asia's moment of glory and truth, lay shattered and tattered. China played dirty, and the story is well known. There's no point of repeating it over here. The fact is, Nehru got his comeuppance months before he passed away. Karma always visits. Similarly, Morarji Desai, that prime minister lost a vote of confidence in parliament. The first time that a prime minister had lost a vote of confidence in parliament was Morarji Desai. The funny part of it is that the minister who was speaking on his behalf today, George Fernandez, switched sides tonight and gave his opposition tomorrow. It was politics of the black comedy politics was played out at that time. But the issue is not on the PMs, the issue is on JRD Tata. What was it in that person that permitted him to take these two humiliations and still be very, very nice with people? What was it that he was doing for Air India that made it one of the finest airlines of that time? The belief is that it is his meticulous looking into details. Nothing could happen so far as the plane was concerned, where the interiors, where the upholstery, where the selection of air hostesses, etc. Anything that involved the passenger and his interface and his feeling like a Maharaja, GRDT looked at personally, his personal attention, and being a man of very fine taste, he ensured that Air India was amongst the best airlines of its times. I don't need to say what happened subsequently when bureaucracy replaced a person who had an interest in aviation. The path was only a slide down. Bureaucracy, politics, unions, management which could not get their work done, ministers who were more keen on exploiting the situation than on really improving the airlines. That whole Molotov cocktail destroyed Air India. Question that is often asked is, how would JRDT have handled the fact that airline travel moved from the classes to the masses? The only question that I have is, the only answer I have, I'm sorry, is that these what if questions really have no answer. Until the man was not there to prove his worth, what is the point of saying what would he have done? We don't know. The answer is we don't know. But the fact remains that till he was the chairman, Air India was a coveted international top-notch airline. The moment it stopped being under his control, the slide was swift, and finally, the business house that he was chairman of has taken it back. Whether successful or not, that only time will say. But this talk of mine was not on anybody else. It was on JRDT and it was on Air India. How one person's passion for his work can take a company to great heights. This ends my talk of today. Happy Dashera to all of you. Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra, Jai Mumbai.